Yeah, it's me, the Gingybeast. Just admiring the nature shine off my noggin. I'll be renting out my head if anyone wants to use it as a mirror. Holy crap. That's a shiny noggin. Anyways, woo! Yes, 'tis I, Gingybeast. Soon to be known as Gingy the Gray. Beard's growing in as gray as my shirt now. Oh, and let's lead that into, the shirt I'm wearing? Yes, it's Conkuer Clothing. Woo! Please check out conkuerclothing.com. CONKUER clothing.com. Check us out. Always trying to support and donate to mental health facilities. And I still have shirts on me, so hit me up. Ottawa, support. Sorry, just throwing that out there, Ottawa. Anyway, moving along. I said I would check in about my trauma therapy, how it's going. I was enrolled in trauma therapy. I'm in week 6 coming up. And amazingly, I actually was asked a lot of questions about my trauma therapy. And you know what that means, everybody? People watch my videos. Hoorah! Hoorah! People watch my videos. And you know what else that means, everybody? Some people actually give a shit about mental health. Hoorah! Hoorah! Yay! So this is awesome, and I appreciated all the questions I got about my trauma therapy. So I just thought I would tell you a bit more about it, a few things I've learned, just a few tips so far. There's a lot to take in. I could be here, like I said, I'm 5 weeks deep, and it's a lot. It gets really heavy some days. One thing right off the bat I'm just going to say is that trauma therapy online or in a group setting, whatever, mine's a group setting online, if you're an introvert, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard off the bat. But just remember, if you struggle in social environments and you're going into a group therapy setting, most likely, and this is what I learned, even though I'm an extrovert, I worked in bars, I went to 5 high schools, I got used to having to meet new people, so this wasn't hard for me. Even though now I do struggle with social anxiety, presently I do struggle and I'm working on that. But if you're an introvert, just remember, in group therapy like this, everyone in there is struggling to a certain degree, just like you are. So you won't feel ashamed, you won't feel like a misfit, and you won't feel ostracized in any way, because 90% chance everyone in there has a piece of your struggle in them. So you will feel at ease. Like, there's a guy in my group setting, sometimes when he speaks, it's like I'm listening to a tape recorder of myself. Like, I told my fiance, I'm like, this guy talks, and it's like I could put him on the phone with her and she'd be like, Jeff? Like, it's the same struggle. He says everything I say in the exact same words, relating to the same problems I have. So one of the biggest benefits about my group therapy and my group of people, men and women, all genders, is that everyone in there all struggles together. People come online some days and they're hurting. Some come on and say, I can't do it today, and they log off. There's no shame in it. You're just not up to it for the day. So on that note, that's the best part for me. It's just being able to be there with people that struggle like me. It's not a demented thing to want to see other people struggle. It's the feeling of that you belong somewhere with other people that are getting the help that you need because they need the same help. That's the number one thing I love about this trauma therapy I'm enrolled in. And I still got 9 weeks to go. Yeah, 9 weeks. But anyway, I was just going to say some of the things I've learned. I mean, like, we talk about things like, one thing we was called the ABCs, accumulating, like, it stands for 3 different things. It was a good tip. I thought I would just share it. It's called the ABCs. A for accumulating positive emotions, B for building mastery, and C for coping ahead. Now, if you think about it, so A stands for accumulating positive emotions. Now, for that, it's like for your struggles. If you think about your struggles, your anxiety, when you start to spiral, things like that, when your trauma might be triggered, accumulating positive emotions. Like, have these emotions built up for you, like as a shield. Like have them ready for you when you know you're about to spiral. Like for me, things that work for me is a shield when I know I'm about to hit the dirt and go down a rocky road of anxiety and everything. For me, I gotta go right away and I gotta like play with my cats. Oh, my little kitties. I gotta play with them. I gotta put on some happy music. I gotta put on a comedy movie. Distractions. Have that shield built for you. So accumulating positive emotions, anything positive that will make you feel better, that will take you out of that position where you might spiral. Like it's a shield. Accumulating positive emotions. So that's the A that we learned in the ABCs. Now building mastery, that's kind of like playing a sport. You got to keep playing it to get good at it. Like I say chess, like no one plays chess and starts out amazing, right? So you start with chess. Chess, you got to keep playing to get good at it. Same with any sport pretty much. But like building a mastery, like it's more like you got to feel competent and confident in yourself to build a defense mechanism against the spiraling and against feeling hopeless and helpless against your emotions. So the more you keep telling yourself you're confident you can do this, you're competent and you know that you can follow through and like you've done it before and you know you can get through it, the more you build this confidence and you feel confident in yourself, you start to master this and you start to be able to know that when this comes, you have the strength inside you to follow through and build the mastery along with building the positive emotions and accumulating positive emotions to get through the spiraling and stop it. It's like playing a sport. You just got to keep practicing. And for the C and the ABCs, it was called coping ahead. That's pretty basic. I mean, coping ahead was like rehearsing. Just it's like practicing, same kind of thing. You practice. You know at some point in time you're probably going to get triggered somewhere. Like if you go out somewhere, like if you have social anxiety and you go out somewhere and you're going to get triggered and you know that's highly possible it's going to happen, practice ahead of time. Like you know it's going to happen. So just prepare for it. Have things set in your mind that you know you can use as a distraction, such as accumulating positive emotions that will stop you from spiraling, like a safety mechanism. So rehearse these things. So you know when you go out in public or something where you might be triggered, you've already rehearsed the situation in your mind a bunch of times. Have it ready for you when that trigger could possibly come. So that would be like the coping ahead part. So those are like the ABCs. And again, they were accumulating positive emotions, building mastery, and coping ahead. I'm sure you can find them online. I'm sure they'll describe them in a different way, but that's how I saw them. We talked about stuck points. Stuck points are the points within your trauma when it comes back that you can't get through. It's kind of like through your recovery, you get the stuck points in your trauma, your PTSD, that it's like barriers that have been built in your mind through your trauma that you can't get over. We're learning how to get through those, which is a very difficult thing for a lot of people. I find that very difficult. It's like thoughts of misery that you just can't get rid of. And it kind of just, you feel like you're supposed to be stuck in this misery for the rest of your life, and this trauma has put you in this place. So we call these stuck points. We're learning how to deal with these kind of things. So like these are things we're learning in trauma therapy, and they are helpful. I'm learning a lot. Some physical tips we learned. There's this thing called TIP, TIPP. I found kind of funny because in a way it didn't make sense, but it had some things that helped. I'll just go through with it. And one of the things was temperature change, and I use that all the time for myself. Like when I'm spiraling, I always use, like when you're feeling a panic attack or something like that, and I'll do my own, where's my bottle of water? I'll do my own little Triple H thing, like a shock to your system physically. Like me, I love wrestling. I used to love wrestling. Modern wrestling sucks now. I used to love my old Big Papa Pump and Macho Man and all that crap. But anyway, what I do at the gym all the time too. Gotten in trouble. But I just to shock myself, I'll put the fountain over my head, or if I'm at home, I'll just that went nowhere on my body. It's supposed to fall on my face. Okay, we're feeling that. All right, that was good. That's what I do. You might find that repulsive. I find it refreshing. So anyway, that's like a temperature shock. That's like one of the first parts in the T's for tip, for physical relief and stuff like that. So I do that quite often. So it's like a reflex. It's called like, what do they call it? I actually have it written down on this one. It's like a dive reflex. That's what it was. That's the one thing I couldn't remember. The I in tip is like intense exercise. I do that, boxing, go to the gym. And sometimes, you know what, if you're just on the spur of the moment, jump down, do some push-ups, do some jumping jacks, just distraction again. Get your body moving, get your heart pumping, just change the pace, change the record. You know what I mean? Like, switch things around. So that's the I in tip, intense exercise. So far we're at tip the temperature, intense exercise. And the P, the first P is paced breathing. I suck at this. Paced breathing is terrible for me. Never good at it. Might be good for you guys, but paced breathing is deep breaths, 5 to 7 really deep breaths in like the span of a minute. Some of you may be really good at it. I suck at it. I just suck at it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Like, might pass out. I'm not going to do it. I don't think you're supposed to hold as long as I do, but I'm not going to do it. I just don't like it. It's not something. What works for you doesn't work for other people. What works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. And then after that, there's like this thing. It's like muscle relaxation. I don't know where it goes into the second P part. Just questioning that. But anyway, this is another thing where it's like they say breathe in really deep, tensely, and then release the tension. It's another one I struggle with. I don't know, it might work for other people, but it's like breathe in, gather all the tension in your body, and then let go of the tension as you release your breath. To me, it's along the same lines as the first P with the paired breathing, paced breathing, sorry, but I don't understand it. I'm not good at the breathing exercises. For me, the tip the temperature, the dive reflex, like the old Triple H thing I just did in wrestling, that works for me amazingly. Exercise works amazingly for me. So I suggest those two because it just totally flips the scale on everything you're doing at that moment. But anyway, those are things that I've been doing in trauma therapy, just a few. Like, we've been doing so much. It's been great. Like I said, I've met quite a few people. People come and go because the first section of your trauma therapy is 8 weeks. And then people come and go once they've done. Like, people join like I'm going into week 6. People will join during week 6. There will be new people. And they come and go. People just come. It's like an interactive thing. People talk, we get to say our opinions. You have to respect others' traumas and triggers, obviously. But again, the most impressive part to me is just being somewhere where I can be completely comfortable with other people who struggle such as me. That part is amazing. So the bottom line for me would be I recommend trauma group therapy, because it reminds you you're not alone in your struggle. I recommend it to anyone who's having struggles, who thinks they're alone, who thinks they're a weirdo, who thinks that there's some kind of Fruit Loop. You're not. There's a lot of Fruit Loops. And like one of our Conkuer Clothing hoodies, who's normal? I bitch and moan all the time and say, I just want a normal day. I just want to feel normal. But what is normal? Tell me who's normal. Define normal to me. Who's normal out there? I don't know anyone who's normal. So you're just in a group of people who struggle, and you all get to express your feelings. Anyway, I'm going to go because that's a long-ass video. And I hope everyone's good. I hope people watch this. And it's to help people. Again, please check my channel. Please subscribe it. Please support Conkuer Clothing. Peace out, everyone. I'll be back. And thank you for the support and the questions that I did get. Peace out.